Hi students, welcome back to the online class. We are doing projects on Tinkercad and today we are going to learn how to control the motor. That is, the motor basically used in the robotics. Most of the projects based on the robotics are basically depending upon the motors. So we must know how to control the motors with the help of Arduino. And to control the motor, we need to take the help of motor driver that you can see on the screen, L293D. This is one of the motor driver, which is the component to control the motor. Controlling in the sense, in the motor we have the requirement that the rotation should be in forward and backward direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. And for that we need to control it with the help of motor driver. So there are lots of pins on this motor driver you can see, and I'll let you know how to connect this motor driver with the Arduino and the motor so that we can control the rotation in the motor in forward and backward direction. So in general you can see there are input pins and output pins. Input 1 and output 1 are connected with each other, means they are connected next to each other. Input 2 and output 2 are also connected next to each other. There is a power pin 2 which you can see at the bottom, and this is for the external power, because the Arduino will give only 5 volt. That will not be sufficient for the motor, so we need to connect the external battery, and for that we basically take the help of power 2 pin of the L293D motor driver. And rest input and output will be just to control the rotation in the motor. So in general the input pin of this motor driver is controlled by the Arduino, and output pin of this motor driver will control the motor. So input will be connected with the Arduino and output will be connected with the motor. So to control one motor we need to take the help of 2 output pins and 2 input pins. So there are 2 input and 2 output pins in this motor driver. So with this motor driver we can control 2 motors with the help of Arduino. So let's see how to connect it. So place this motor driver at the center of the breadboard, the way I have placed it, and very first let's adjust all the components. So this video will help you to understand overall how to control the motor, and based on this you can think of any project based on the motors only, how we can think of like automatic car, the car that can be controlled with the Bluetooth, the car can be controlled with the voice, different facilities we have that can be controlled with the help of sensors. All things basically need the motors, and for that this circuit and programming is very important. So very first from the Arduino 5 volt I am connecting one line of the breadboard with plus sign that you can see, so that we will remember that plus line of the breadboard is connected with the plus 5 volt, and give it also red color so that we will remember. And ground of this Arduino will let it be connected with another line of the breadboard which is marked minus also, so that we will remember, and also make it black in color so that we will not do a mistake in the circuit. Now you can see enable 1 and 2 of this motor driver that will be directly connected with the plus line, that is plus 5 volt of the Arduino. There you can see power 2 that will connect with the battery, but other side we have enable 3 and 4 pin that will also go to plus 5 volt of the Arduino. So for that let's bring plus 5 volt of the Arduino on the other side of the breadboard also. So from one side of the breadboard we can connect the other side of the breadboard, so that will help us to connect the motor driver properly. So from plus line we can bring plus line on the other side also, that is plus 5 volt is connected on the other side of the breadboard, and ground is also connected with the ground line of the other side of the breadboard. Now other side, that is right hand side of the breadboard, are also having 2 lines with plus 5 volt and ground line. So power of this motor driver will go to plus 5 volt, that you have to remember. And there are ground pins that will also go to ground, but before that enable 3 and 4 that is there at the bottom of the motor driver right hand side, that will also go to plus 5 volt. Now we have ground pins, 2 ground pins each side, and that will go to ground only. So the ground lines we have there, we have already connected on the breadboard. So let's connect both the ground lines of the motor driver with the ground line on the breadboard. Same thing has to be done on the side also, and also try to give different colors to the ground pin, positive pin, so that you remember that the wires are for which power, the positive or the negative power. Okay, so ground pins are connected with the ground lines both the side. Now we'll connect the positive of this battery, that is 9-volt battery, with first of all let's connect the negative of the battery with the ground pin on the breadboard only, and let it give black color. And the power 2 pin of the motor driver has to be connected with the positive of this 9-volt battery, and this power 2 pin will basically control the motor, that is this will give high power to the motor. With 5-volt Arduino the motor may not work. Okay, so this is how we have connected the battery also. So our power pins are already connected of the motor driver, and now let's move to the input and output pins of the motor driver. So that one thing you have to remember, input pins are basically the pins through which the motor driver will be controlled by the Arduino. Output pin of the motor driver are the pins that will control the motor itself. So with the help of input pins of the the Arduino, we are going to control the motor driver. So motor driver will get the command with the help of input pins from the Arduino. So let's connect input 3 and 4 on the right hand side. I think I've done a mistake, let it correct. So this wire is not connected correctly, let's connect it. This will go to the input pin. So this is the input pin. Okay, so this input will go to one of the digital pin of the Arduino, and another input pin will go to the another digital pin of the Arduino. So I have taken pin number 2 and 3 for the two different input pins of the motor driver, and output pins of this same side of the motor driver will go to two different terminals of the motor. So the concept is very simple. If the input 3 pin will be made low with the help of Arduino, then output 3 will also go low, and same with the output 4. So input 3 and output 3 will work together. Output 3 and output 4 and input 4 will work together. So with the help of input pins, we are able to give command to the motor driver, and the motor driver is accordingly giving the command to the motor with the help of output pins. So 3 input and 3 output will remain high and low together. So now programming is very simple. Overall the input pins of the of the motor driver will be getting the command from the Arduino. So for the Arduino it is output pins, both pin number 2 and 3 that we have made output. And the concept is if out of two pins 2 and 3, if one pin will be high and one pin will be low, then motor will have rotation in one direction, that is maybe clockwise. And if it is just reversed, that is the previous pin which was made low is made high and the high pin is made low, then the rotation will be opposite. So this is how we can control the rotation of the motor, forward and backward, or clockwise or anti-clockwise. So let's write down the same thing. What will be done? Very first we'll make pin number 2 as high, pin number 3 low, and then we can give some delay also. Delay means for how much time I want this to have a rotation in one direction. Then I'll reverse the command, that is the low will be made high and high will be made low, and again I'll give the delay, and that depends on you for how much you want to give the delay. So delay will decide for how much time this rotation has to be done in one direction and then opposite direction. This is just a basic programming, but when we are making any project based on the robotics, we can also connect with the sensor, and based on the sensor we can give the command to this motor driver with the help of Arduino. So that we'll see. So very first You can see digitalWrite pin number 2 is high and pin number 3 is low, and delay 2000, that is 2 seconds. And then I have copy pasted the same thing, and then I am just reversing the command, that is low is made high and high is made low. And that's all we have for the rotation of the rotation in the motor in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So now I'll show you how it will work. Programming is only this much. So let's see the work. So you can see how the RPM is going plus and minus. 244 plus 244 minus, that is plus is one direction rotation, minus is just opposite direction rotation, that you can also see on the screen. So this is how we can use the motor in the robotics and can control the motion of the robot. That we'll see in coming classes. So for today it's done. Thank you, take care, and adieu.